Hello, folks. Remember our maxim: accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. That's what we do on Homo Politicus, the flagship show on Enterprise TV. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now, let's consider the talking point for today. Partisan taunting. Atiku's aide to presidency. You are turning presidency to travel agency. Now, may I begin this preamble by stating that a taunt is defined as an intended set of words that involve humiliating, cruel, sometimes demeaning or bigoted language, thinly disguised as jokes. Consider this. Presidency, not travel agency, Atiku's aide says on Tinubu's vacation. So before you fly with it, may I remind you that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and President Bola Tinubu were both business associates and political allies and scions of the famed Aradua dynasty, dating back to 1992. Now, in politics, enmity and friendship are not permanent, only interest is. The Nigeria of the 21st century is in a very bad place, I had told you. Hence, if a chance to hit back offers itself, you size it and seize it, if you get that. The camp of the Turakin Adamawa Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has taken the presidency to task over the explanation that President Tinubu was moving from the United Kingdom, the UK, to France in continuation of his annual vacation. Special Assistant to Atiku on Public Communication and Strategy, public communication, I should say, Frank Schreiber, has said the federal government was not a travel agency. The president's man on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, in reaction to the taunt, says President Tinubu is on leave for 2 weeks. He should not be distracted. Okay, end quote. Our gut reaction is to remind the presidency that the quality of being careful about what you do and say so that people would not be embarrassed or offended is being discreet. Let's go there. My guest this morning is the suave Cyril Abaku. Cyril, one more time, I welcome you.
Thank you, Citizen.
You know, in politics, when you throw a jab, before you settle down, a barrage will come. So you are not surprised at this.
Let me start by saying that I wouldn't call this partisan taunting. I would say it's truth telling in all good conscience.
Okay.
Because the presidency has...
No. Why I said partisan taunting is because the words are not coming directly from the former vice president.
I understand, but he has given endorsement or approval to this to his spokesperson to so speak. And then, well, is it a taunt? I think it is truth telling at its best. And frankly, I have to comment.
No. Seriously, we are not banding words. We are not exchanging. But referring to the presidency as a travel agency is a taunt. It's a glib way of saying you are in a wrong place or something like that.
In any case, doesn't take away from the truism so couched in the so contained in what looks like a bullet. I frankly find it, or the presidency has adopted a pattern of relativizing a lot of issues. The president that said the president was going on
vacation,
loosely speaking, vacation in the UK, in one breath said it was a working leave. In another breath,
a work leave.
Work leave. In another breath said it was a retreat. So we don't know if and then the following day the president transmits a bill trying to harmonize Nigeria's tax, IGRO, whatever, into a single policy. To which he transmitted the bill to National Assembly.
Yeah, underscoring the work leave element.
So now again they are telling us that the president is it is private time, quote, and that he can spend it anywhere.
No, by extension of logic, Cyril is on leave.
Yes.
You don't begrudge him that.
If the president is on leave, who is running the country?
He's vice president.
He is not. We're not aware of that.
Did I get that?
I'm not aware that he wrote a letter to the National Assembly.
So no transmission.
So without transmission, how do we know that vice president is in charge?
It's a given.
But it shouldn't be. See, this is the problem. We shouldn't assume these things. The following day, this same president sent a bill to the National Assembly immediately. I mean, they said it was a work leave. In the sentence, they said it was a retreat. So we're now caught in a trap of trying to know what the president is really up to. Now, from the UK, he has gone to France. What presidents all over the world is simple. Because you are not a private citizen, because you are president who
and therefore have become public property, so to say, so to speak. Yeah,
you are beholden to the people. Every Nigerian is a shareholder to your health.
Yeah.
Is a shareholder to your well-being
in the project.
In the project.
Project
so for
Nigeria.
You to arbitrarily leave, there should even be an explanation.
Okay.
Why are you now going to France? You owe Nigeria that much. We've seen American presidents go under the knife, and they said that for as long as they're going to be under anesthesia, they transfer power to. You see, the point is this: whether Nigeria is a superpower or not, it is a matter of how we see ourselves. You can be little and yet be so impactful.
Yeah.
You can be small and yet big. So in our own case, leadership is what makes the difference. Is what shows whether we see ourselves as little or as great. So if our president does not feel is accountable, does not give Nigerians an explanation, it means we don't matter. And for that matter, we're not a serious country. In serious nations, leadership brings the whole leadership doesn't wait for the people to ask questions. Leadership knows its own self.
Let me share my gut feeling here. If President Tinubu transmitted authority to his number 2 man, perhaps we may not be discussing this.
No, we would.
Okay. To the extent that
it's enough that he went for a holiday. See, the optics went good.
And perhaps to see his doctors, because you talked about being under the knife.
My point is very straightforward. Even if Shettima was in charge, even if he was running the day-to-day affairs of government, our president is still our president. Is he incapacitated? No. Is he unwell? We're not aware. He has only gone to rest. You see, but the optics of even his travel wasn't very good. Frankly, let me just break it down. Nigeria celebrates independence October 1. The president says it should be low-key. We don't need to do so much about it. Then the following day, just on the back of independence anniversary or commemoration, he jets out to the same former colonial master to have a holiday there.
No, but we received our freedom from the colonial master 64 years ago.
Nigerians are not aware of
Please.
that. Not when we resurrected the anthem you wrote for us.
You are being cheeky here.
But we resurrected the anthem you wrote for us less than a year ago. So there is this.
Cyril, now, if we broach that for a brief while, so many other countries changed their national anthems, including
back to a colonial anthem.
No, to a previous anthem,
but not colonial.
Colonial about,
but not colonial. Anyway,
okay, but that's
I don't want to tell
it's not an issue here.
But we are just saying that. I mean, now this president could have done better by going to Yankari Games. I mean, there are many places in Nigeria that could have gone to holiday at.
But you know the insecurity situation in the country.
Then you should fix it, and until then you shouldn't travel.
But seriously,
it is the reason he's president.
But this has been
Calabar is safe. But that is safe. You could have gone to
a long time coming.
No, but Calabar is safe. But that is safe.
But I'm saying, let me sound a little cynical here. In 64 years, we have perfected this same style.
If you want to look at that.
No. But what are you disagreeing with? In 64 years, we have elected to live this way.
Can I lay it out?
Lay it on me.
We have elected because leadership largely has been responsible. Yes.
Up till when?
Up till now. And the president isn't helping matters by what he's doing. If you knew
in the Buhari days, there was so much hue and cry about his failure to transmit
because he was a bad example. Because he was a bad example. Why should President Tinubu follow in his steps? He was a bad example. By far, Jonathan was better than Buhari. It's on record. Even Tinubu. How many times does it? The countries you want to be like? How many times do you? In France, we are told the first president. Imagine the first president of holiday in Malaysia or Singapore. The highest the French president was that if he's not holidaying in France, he will look for a French territory. Because for them, the Francophonie, what they call the Francophonie, is all that they have to celebrate.
We have not colonized any environment.
Nigeria, the Nigerian president has a chance, okay, to holiday in several parts of Nigeria. Like I told you, he could have gone to Calabar, he could have gone, and this is how you boost domestic tourism. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah, seriously.
Now from Britain, he's heading to France. Excuse me. The other time, sorry, I mean
two different colonial masters.
Oh, good. The other time, the other time he was in France. Nobody knew what there was a funny name. It was called. You see the point. All of this now is the president leaving the UK of France on his own pocket.
No. But it's a given that Mr. President trips.
And how many?
These trips are sponsored by the state.
Okay, so how many people are traveling on that?
That should not be at issue.
How many people are traveling with him on that jet on the?
But is that the?
Aren't we paying for the dates it is parked at the hangar? Now from the UK to France, ours has been a country.
See, my country is a rich country, regardless. Except that we have decided or elected to be prodigal, you know.
So let us face that. If our president is acting, I mean, you've used that thing. If the president is acting that way, it is our ability to call him to order. A lot is, no serious no president does this. Given the doldrums the economy is in, given the situation of security, given the way things are,
given present day Nigeria,
and the fact that he himself is the architect of the modern crisis, I don't think he should have traveled this way. What did FDR do in 1929 when he came into office? No, sorry, Abattoir came in I think 29. But when Huber left and when Roosevelt came, he said he was bringing the New Deal. He didn't make things worse. He inherited an America in which people were not taking their money to the banks anymore. The man, he said, okay, you know what? He brought in the New Deal and reinjected.
Put simply, he fixed his country.
He said the only thing to fear is fear itself. Yeah. In that short speech.
Of course, JFK had told you, in dealing with Russia, we will not negotiate out of fear. But what fear is out of it.
Yes.
But the president's health is important. His trips
are also important. I'm not aware.
But hold on. Comparing the presidency, in other words, Aso Rock, to a travel agency is cynical, if you ask me.
Well, I mean,
because the president must make trips.
What kind of trips?
Could be business, medical, name it.
What kind of trip has Tinubu now embarked upon?
Is on an annual vacation.
So
do you quarrel with that?
Let's even ask, please. Let me just humbly ask this question. By law, because I'm not a lawyer, but by law, I wonder what the Nigerian president is even entitled to in the name of annual leave. I don't understand it.
Let me add this. I hope it's relevant. President Joe Biden would have traveled out of America, but for the two devastating natural disasters, you know, in Florida. So would the Americans now say, don't travel? So restraint. He restrained himself.
It is personal, right? It is personal, and that's leadership. I had President Obasanjo saying the other day, he said that during the Ikeja bomb blast of 2002, that he didn't have to be at the cantonment. You know, he said that when it happened.
But it raised a lot of of eyebrows.
Former President Obasanjo repeated that same statement last year in an interview.
What does that tell you?
I'm coming. He said that the Constitution did not demand him to be at the scene of that problem, of the blast.
But conversely, President Joe Biden has been at the scene of the natural disaster in Florida.
And this is the difference.
The Constitution, I don't know if the Constitution allows him.
An administrator, so no, a manager will look at the handbook and read the 10 commandments. Do's
and don'ts.
And put a full stop and say whatever remains to help with it. But a leader understands, because if we have to write everything into the law books, we won't stop writing. A leader, and Nigeria has been lacking in leadership. That's why when we said that in 64 years we've elected to live this way, I'm telling you, it has largely been the choices made more by leaders.
And okay, let me expand that logic. And by taunting Mr. President here, if we go by what former President Obasanjo said about his vice, he should not be seen to be talking to leadership.
No, but these are...
if that is a point...
Obasanjo making such allegations against his vice.
In a book. Which is in written form.
In spite of which he came out and endorsed for the presidency. So whether Obasanjo means what he said or didn't mean what he said, it is entirely up to him. What should have, if he had this much on him, why hasn't he written to? Why hasn't he overseen the prosecution of his vice? He even endorsed for the presidency. He endorsed militant. But that is by the side. Citizen Jones.
Does that not tell you that we have elected to live that way?
No, but if the man has not been in Japan, what we call the harakiri.
Yeah.
I don't know what book it is written in, that if anything happens, go and take your life.
The Japanese state, every public official has the thing.
Exactly. And that's, I'm not advocating suicide, right?
Yeah.
But I'm only saying that the manner in which Japanese laws exist, in spite of which people do harakiri, Nigeria must also, in spite of laws, have an attitude.
Yeah, but may I inject what late Chairman Mao Zedong of China said? He said, in war you are killed once, but in politics you are killed many times.
Yes, I agree.
So this is one of it.
Yes, and so but
so former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is playing opposition politics.
Well, let the scholars call it that. But whatever resonates with people is for the people.
Okay.
Let me say this. Mao Zedong's idea of you die many times in politics. I want to expand it now.
Okay.
The people of Nigeria have been dying again and again because of politics. They've been dying.
Otherwise, Nigerians have seen 99.
Are you aware? What is 100? And 100 is coming now. The lag go down. What are we doing? We've been told. And are waiting as sitting ducks for the dam to, for the waters to come again. What did the president do after the Maiduguri flooding? He said, we read that he had ordered a comprehensive investigation of all the dams in the country. What is she?
Sir, you went there first. Let me follow you. The rule book, in this case, the ground norm, the 1999 Constitution, does not require Mr. President being physical at the scene of any disaster, natural or natural. But it should come from self-conviction.
Why then do we even...
Or do we need a separate book, constitution, to compel, number one, a Mr. President to transmit a letter handing over power to...
No, but it's in the constitution.
Okay.
After the Jonathan incident, all of this was taken care of.
But Jonathan did not become president until the doctrine of necessity
was revoked, yes.
So is the doctrine of necessity in the Constitution? No.
It is not. But now, what we've done is that we have written into the Constitution clauses and paragraphs that should prevent the invocation or the creation of doctrines that, you know, were not envisaged by law.
Are not constant.
Are not constant or conventional.
Yeah.
Okay? It was the child of necessity because the nation couldn't have been left to go rudderless.
Yeah.
Now, today.
Although in 1966 we had 4 days, we lived 4 days.
Without, yes.
If you remember.
Yes, but not because of the, Zik was not willing to transmit power for information of the new. But the point is this.
Please repeat that. Zik was not. So it's been a long time coming.
Does not give justification.
Nobody has said so.
No.
But I'm saying
because we seem to give the trajectory that
at 64, isn't it too late to teach this old dog new tricks?
No, come on, citizen. I mean, in the interest of public integrity and the integrity of
is it this dog not too old for new tricks?
No.
Okay.
Then let's get puppies and raise them properly. But the point to be made will be this. Our president hasn't done done the right thing.
Yeah.
Clearly, this is not a good president to lay down to those who are coming behind him. We don't run the show this way.
Okay.
Because, like they say in the underground world, if people who came before you did it like this, would you have come to meet anything on the ground?
I know that in American history, the only president who couldn't blame the man before him was George Washington.
Yes, because
because
because if we make the argument that the president,
but he laid a solid foundation.
He did for John Adams and the rest, Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson, you know, and so on and co. So today too, we owe it to the generations coming to be
if it's not too late.
Come on,
in the day.
But I don't think it is to bequeath a lasting legacy. One, Mr. President, you cannot rule from anywhere. It should not be done that way. If you live in a country, and I mean, they were frank enough to come and say the president was leaving the country on a vacation, right?
Yeah.
Transit back. If you're resting, rest.
I hear we must begin to wind down.
If you're resting, rest. When you're done, you come back. But now you want to leave from the UK. Now you're going to France. Look, even if you had all the good reasons, it is shameful, actually.
All right.
The question will be, what are you looking for? All the countries in Europe, Belgium, Italy, they are all dealing with identity issues. Who are we? Where are we going? What should we do? Because they dealt with basic infrastructure. Our president is, the word that fits what he's doing is not really friendly. So I'll refrain from using it. But frankly, it is beneath.
But I want to let me confess. I'm more than 10% as miffed as you are, but you see, my business here is to be the middleman.
I can understand.
You know, weighing the pros and cons. But you admit in closing that Mr. President is entitled to a vacation, is entitled to travel, but those travels or trips must be properly done. Okay?
Yeah, well,
a transmission of power should be in the mix, right?
Yes, but but what I would say is that if I were Nigeria's president, I don't think that vacation would be something that I will embrace with both hands.
But if the Constitution allows you to take a break,
if the president didn't go on a vacation, would anybody cut off his neck or something?
Nothing.
So
nothing.
Our nation demands a leader who is present, who is not absent, who is systematic, persevering, persistent, patient, and above all else, willing to deploy the best know-how to the job, because it is the least a nation could take.
So let's apply the brakes here, but not before reminding the presidency that ours here is to help mold opinion after we would have given context to the development. I'm not taking sides here. The presidency should not be seen or be made to be seen as a travel agency. I think the former vice president can also help matters.
By not saying the truth.
No, truth is relative. If the president was going on vacation, so there's no lie here. Perhaps the presidency spokesman must clean up their act. I agree.
Like saying that the weather in England became a bit warmer.
Something like that, and so on. Well, see, no. Ours is not to couch words, you know.
Yeah, but I understand the drift. Yeah.
Okay, but Cyril, thank you very kindly for your intervention.
My pleasure.
That's the essence of broadcasting. There are three sides to a story. In this case, the presidency side, former Vice President Atiku's side, and the truth, which is a fact here. We stand by the third side. Thank you, Cyril Abako, for coming. And thank you, folks. Let the debate continue. Until the next time, this is yours sincerely, Citizen Jones Hussein, saying bye-bye now. Take care.